Welcome to Zoom. Enter your meeting ID followed by pound.
621 299 429 pound.
Enter your participant ID followed by pound. Otherwise, you are in the meeting now. There are 2 participants in the meeting. This meeting is being recorded.
Hello. We're just going to wait a little bit longer here. Welcome to our first Zoom meeting for GASP. I've got everybody on mute. Just going to give it a few more minutes. Got some early birds. Got some people joining. This is cool. This is our first time doing this. So we will give everybody a few minutes to get going.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, I'm going to mute you. All right. I'm starting everybody off on mute. All right, it's 12 o'clock. Welcome, everybody.
Carolyn, can you hear me? It's Faith.
Hi, Faith. Yes, I can hear you.
Hi. Great. I'm here.
All right, 12 o'clock. I wonder if we'll get any more people. Now, for those of you not on the phone, can everyone else hear me? I'm going to unmute all. Can people hear me who aren't on the phone?
Yes, I can.
All right.
Involved. I would have to find out who their advisor is, but I can get back to you. What's your number, Adam?
All right. I will mute this again. All right. Okay, so here we go, guys. Thank you guys for joining. We will have time if for some reason this doesn't go well. We will have a chance to do it again. A couple things I want to talk about we have a few things that have arrived through the printer. And I'm going to show you a couple things that we have. We have the GASP rack card here. This was for athletes, and this is for coaches. So this talked about alcohol and marijuana risks. This we did last year as well, but we're having more printed up. So these just came through. And we also have our new posters. Let me grab one. So you may remember our posters that we did with different health facts. We have 3 for marijuana and 3 for prescription drugs. These are going to be up again, same ones. They're made this year with a paper that's not rippable. They're not laminated, but they're a little different. So we will see how this goes with these these new posters. They're kind of cool, actually. The paper, I've never even heard of it before. We just had Suzanne join in. This is awesome. So yeah, posters. Great. So, and we're also going to do the social norms posters again because they liked them so much. The kids did. So we'll have those again. They're at the bottom of my stack of posters, so I'm not going to pull them out, but they're the ones with the candy and the sweets and everything that say, like, most kids don't do this, most kids don't do that. So that's that. Those are ready and done from the printer. I think I'm going to start putting them up tomorrow after school, and I hope that I have a little bit of help from some of the kids. We'll see how that goes. And then, speaking of that, so tomorrow I'm also going to stop by the Media Center to talk to Rich Costa. Turns out Mark Russell wants to help us do our GASP video. And so that's going to be interview style of several people who will be talking about GASP, talking about, why prevention is important, why prevention is important in Groton. And he is going to be helping us with that the first week in January. So I'll have a flyer that's going to go out for people to sign up with different time slots if they want to participate. But I'm hoping that the coalition comes out and helps with that, because that'll be huge. But we have time to talk about that. Pretty much now I've just sort of booked the Media Center on certain days in the evening for people to come out and do a little 1 or 2 minute video talking about GASP. So that's really neat. Another thing I'm doing tomorrow night at the high school is I got a phone call from the folks who are coordinating the drug and alcohol free graduation party. And apparently they're having a lot of trouble raising money. And in the past, we have never been able to give them money, which is fine. It's a grant stipulation. We can't just give people money for things like that. So, but apparently last year, only like 25 people went. And so if something has the price tag of about $10,000, they don't really want to continue with that. But I think the group is sort of split because they want to do something, but they don't want to, spend a lot of money on something that the kids don't want to do. So I'm going to attend that meeting and see what they have to say. They did ask me about a mock car crash. And, I didn't want to crush anyone's dreams, but, the prevention field's trying to get away from scare tactics like that and like one-time things where people are just trying to scare people. But it's tough because oftentimes that's what people think that kids need to see because we want them to make good choices. So I said that, we probably wouldn't want to support a mock car crash, but that graduation and prom comes right near Prevention Week. So we could really beef up Prevention Week and do a lot of things during that week that are prevention oriented to get the kids thinking, to get parents thinking, things like that. So we'll see how that meeting goes, but that's tomorrow night at the high school. I'm going to meet up with them and see what the deal is, but I haven't promised anything. I haven't done anything. I just want to see what they have to say, pretty much. So yeah, hopefully tomorrow we get posters up and we get the space squared away at the Media Center for the video, and everyone on this phone call can help out with that if you want. It's only going to take a couple of minutes. There's a bunch of different times to do it, and then the posters, hopefully. So if you're around, if you want to help out tomorrow, I'll be at the high school putting up posters. And the reason we usually wait till after the first of the year to do the posters, but we want to get the perception of harm numbers up this year for marijuana and make sure that that's reflected in the survey. So the more we can have that message out there earlier, the better. So if we do the survey, say late January, February, the more time those posters can be up can, you know, maybe help with that. We're also I had more printed this time, so we can have them at the middle school, and we'll get all of them approved, of course. They're the same ones as last year. So we'll do that as well. And then anywhere else, maybe the community center, some posters, and other places. So if you have suggestions, let me know. So that's that. Our mailing, our parent mailing, I think went out on Friday. If it didn't go out Friday, it's going out today. So that's a 5,000 piece mailing for parents. And it's very similar to the one that's gone out before. I sent a draft to the social marketing committee, and I got a little bit of feedback about the pictures that I used. So I went ahead and I changed those pictures. And then I approved it. So it's very similar content-wise than it has been in the past. They used like a pink and purple with some blue. So it's very sort of reminiscent of the Project 21 mailing. I think I printed one out and I left it on the printer. But let me go grab that one right back. Okay, I'm back. It's not on the printer. I don't know what happened to it. So, so those went out. So that's 5,000 piece mailing, different postal routes. And I should be getting some loose copies to put out in the community as well. So as soon as I get those, probably sometime this week, I'll be putting them around the community. Let's see here. All right, the Grasso event. So as some of you will remember the EverFi curriculum that Grasso helped out with. They had like 125 students do it. We recognized them when I went to go talk about vaping. I had to do a little site visit, so Robin Cox from DMS came and watched me do the vaping presentation. And before I did that, I gave them a little award, thanking them for doing that. So in exchange for them doing that, we are giving them a community event. So they're going to do an assembly during the day on January 8th. And then they're going to have an evening presentation for the community. So that'll be open to whoever wants to go. And the speaker is Stephen Hill from Speak Sobriety. And I found him basically through social media. And I found him, and he's super nice. He's, you know, does lots of speaking events all over. And so he'll speak during the day to the kids. And then in the evening, it'll be kind of like him and then like a panel of people. So Community Speaks Out will be involved with that, and a couple of other key people in the community will also be on that panel. So it'll be good. It'll be something in the day, something in the evening. And then whoever wants to come in the evening can come. So that won't be exclusive. So if families from any of the other high schools or the middle schools want to go, or just interested people, it'll be available to them. So that's very positive. We don't do a lot with Grasso. I think that's great that we're doing that. At the last meeting, we talked a little bit about the CVAT tool that I've been working on with John Davio. He's one of our technical assistance people. And basically, we're going to start doing some more structured things, job descriptions and orientation packets and things like that. So I did pass out at the last meeting some samples. That one right here. You may remember one of these sheets, lots of paper cuts at the last meeting, but I'm going to be customizing some of those, and I'll send those out. I made a tentative agreement with John that we would have that stuff in before the end of the year, so I'm hoping we can do that. And it's just basically like saying what it means to be a GASP member, coming up with a list of things that all new members will get, which is pretty basic, but we're pretty casual about it. So this is just adding another layer of formality to it. And also, let's see, roles. Oh yeah, so job description. So if anybody wants to be a GASP leader, in addition to me being a coordinator, somebody who's not paid staff who wants to be like the chair, that's something that we can talk about. I know there was a little bit of, ambivalence about that from the group, kind of like, hey, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. But, we'll see. We'll see what that looks like. We have to do these things so our funders want to fund us again. So that's that. So be on the lookout. I will probably mail those out to people, email for that. So for our 20-year anniversary, several people have already submitted testimony about GASP. I know Suzanne has submitted, Heather has submitted, Therese actually is working on an op-ed. Let's see, who else? Yeah, Suzanne, Heather, and Therese are working on stuff like that. So that's the kind of stuff that is really awesome because we can share it on social media. So that's great. So if you have something you want to say, a couple of sentences about why GASP is important to you, or what do you think GASP does for the community, that would be awesome. You can just email that to me. For our STIP worksheet and our timeline, so that's a deliverable for DMS that I have to do for the grant. And that's basically a rundown of all the things we've been doing and the highlights from over the past 5 years, and then I have to put it into a timeline situation to show the progress. And I'm going to be working on that. I'm a little behind schedule. I talked to John last week, and I have to do the visual part. So that's the part that I'm not great at. So I'm going to have to get some help on that. But you'll be able to see it, a draft of that, before I submit it, and you can give me feedback on that because I'm going to need that. The video, I mentioned that already, so there'll be an opportunity for people to say nice things about GASP or talk about why prevention is important. Mark Russell's going to help us with that video. Another fun thing that I did, where is it? I sent out holiday cards to people. And where did I put it? I just had it. Some of you have seen it. Oh, here it is. So these are our holiday cards. They're really cool from Shutterfly. Pictures of little highlights throughout the year and some of our marketing. And then on the back it says, help us celebrate 20 years at the Serenity Ball. And promotes our Instagram and our social media. And it says from GASP and Carolyn. So this was kind of fun. I'll hold it up so you can see. Happy holidays from GASP. So that accomplishes a couple things. It celebrates us. It reminds people about what we do. It might even help with recruiting. And then it also might help get people to the ball. So holiday cards are good. So there are 100 of those sent out. And then I also did 300 for the Serenity Ball. Those are out in the mail today. So some people will be getting those soon. So hopefully we get a nice return on that. We'll see. We will see. What else do we have? Oh, yes. Take it to the box. So for those of you who are engaged on Facebook, you may have seen on our page the new holiday version of the Take It to the Box ad, which I had some help making. So we try to do one for all the different holidays and seasons and stuff. And it's basically just a reminder to use the Dropbox. It reminds people that it's open 24/7 and that, just to use it. So we've got a fresh one on the Facebook page, and you can take that and use it on your Facebook page. It can be tweeted, it can be Instagrammed, anything. So feel free to borrow that and help get that out. And then we have also, we're working on a refreshed rec card. The last one we did was yellow, so we're making one that's green, because that'll look nicely with the picture of the box. So we're refreshing the Ticket to the Box rack card. So nothing new there. All we had to do was change one statistic to reflect the 2018 data. And that's basically perceived accessibility. So I think the statistic is in 2018, 25% of kids thought it was easy to get prescription drugs without a prescription. So that's the only thing we changed. But those will once again go out in all of our resource libraries and, you know, anywhere that'll take them pretty much. So that's coming up. Another thing that we have is, dun, 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 dun. Yeah, you saw that email that went out. This handout that was attached to that email, What is Prevention, is really awesome. Like, if you are curious about how to ever explain why it is we do what we do and how we do it, this is the perfect thing. It's like a 2-pager, and it talks about prevention in the community, talks about the role of genetics, and the role of the community. So this was an awesome thing that I emailed out. And if you have a way to post that somewhere or hand it out to parents or, you know, whatever, it's great. In addition to that, there was also a series of videos that pretty much just say what the piece of paper says, but it puts graphics to it. And it's really basic, you know. It's funny to me, like, having to go back and, like, put out a series of reminders about, you know, how to explain prevention, how to explain why it's important to have the community involved. But they're really good videos. Let's see here. Admit. All right, there she is. We got one more person. Hi, Donna. So, you know, there's a lot going on right now, basically. But it's important to get back to square one and all make sure we have a really working knowledge of the talking points about what the deal is with prevention. And I thought that finding those, the paper takeaway and the videos was a really good thing for us to have, all have access to. And those can be shared on social media. They can be emailed out, you know, what have you. All right, so let's see, what else do I have on here? That's pretty much it. I am going to unmute people, and people can talk if they want to talk. If you don't want to talk, you can keep yourself muted, but I will unmute people now, and we'll see how this goes. We've got about 10 minutes left, so if anybody wants to talk. All right, everybody's unmuted. Who's got a question or a comment, something they want to say? I will say that I was just talking to Jonathan Grossman, and our next GASP meeting, our in-person scheduled meeting, is going to be next Monday at Grasso, and they're going to do a nice little spread for us for lunch. So that I will probably need people to RSVP for, just so we can have the right amount of food, but that's going to be where our meeting is going to be. And it's not going to be a lot of business, which is why we're doing this now. And I'm so happy that we've got 7 people tuning into this. And, you know, we can find out what didn't work and we can make it better, for sure. But yeah, so our next meeting will be at Grasso, and it's going to be a nice little holiday lunch, and we can just kind of socialize. And this recording will be available to the people who couldn't make it, as long as I don't screw that up, because I've never done this before. I've attended plenty of these, but I've never run one myself. So that's basically the thing there. Anything else anybody wants to say? Any questions about anything? I went through a lot of marketing stuff that I'm right now, so I'll be quiet for a second if anyone wants to chime in. All right, I'm going to mute it again because no one's talking.
I'll just say,
oh, hello?
hello. Can you
Yes,
hear me?
hi Donna, is that you? Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello. Just wanted to say thank you.
Oh, I'm so glad we figured out how to do this. I'm excited that this is an option. And Donna, you recently emailed me about partnering for MLK Day, and it's an absolute yes, because cultural competence is something that we prioritize through the strategic prevention framework and for GASP, of course. So we can go offline and talk about what that's going to look like, but we will definitely partner with you on something for sure with that.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
Yes, I was thinking about it all week, and I went out of town. I'm like, I got to get back to Donna about that. So I'm glad you're here.
Sounds great.
All right, here's I'm going to mute everybody again, and if you want to unmute yourself, you can. So let's see, what else, just to tie things up a little bit. The Serenity Ball is coming up, and I know that some of you have already RSVP'd to be there, which is great. If you guys want to help promote the website, that would be huge. Anything you can do on social media to help promote that would be awesome. I know that, you know, fundraising isn't everyone's gig, but I'm really hoping we can do some great things this year. Last year, we used the money for the SAD chapter, and they were very appreciative, but it was a lot of work for them. And we didn't get a lot of people RSVPing, or not RSVPing, but submitting grant applications for the mini grant. You know, like we had thought would be a good idea. So this year, I'm thinking we just decide as a group, like 3 organizations that we want to help out, youth serving stuff in Groton, and just let them know ahead of time. Because then we can say to people who want to come to the ball, hey, this is who's going to benefit from this. It could be the cadets. I'd really love to support the cadets, obviously, because they have volunteered in the past to do some prevention stuff for us. And I would love to once again help the SAD chapter, because they're really stepping up. And then possibly, depending on how my meeting goes tomorrow night with the drug and alcohol free people, we may want to not necessarily give them funds, but try and figure out a way to support what they want to do. Or maybe if they want to, I mean, I think they voted not to have a party. I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to find out. But if they're not going to have the party, some way to beef up Prevention Week to offer, you know, speakers or events or, you know, alternative activities or something. So we have a little bit of time to figure that out, about how we want to use those funds. But last year we only took away $1,000. We were very conservative with what we asked for. With the amount of time and energy I put in, I want more money this year. So I'm hoping for closer to $5,000 this year for GASP. And that's not going to come into Ledgelight. That's going to go straight out to the people we want it to go to. That's kind of the deal with, you know, fundraising and us. So yeah, so that's something that's coming up. I am looking for silent auction donations. If anybody knows of anybody who wants to make a basket, that would be really awesome. Time is ticking by, and it's the holidays, and we might need some help with that. So if anybody wants to do that, that would be awesome. Reapplying for another grant. We've been told there is another grant application coming out probably in January. It is our intention to obviously apply for it. I may need some help with that. So when I know more about that, I will let all of you guys know. But yeah, obviously we have to apply for that. But we also want to make sure that we're doing the best work we can. I'm probably going to need data and all sorts of stuff for that. So that's hopefully coming down the pike. Let's see. What else? Anything? That's pretty much it. So it's 12:27 here. I will unmute once again. See if anybody has anything they want to talk about, anything anybody wants to say. I can hear you all, so anything?
Thank
You got a
you.
lot of it. Thank you very much. We got a lot of stuff going on, guys. I really appreciate your support. We will have our regularly scheduled meeting next Monday at Grasso Tech. We will have lunch. I would give yourself a little bit of extra time to get in through security. They take it very seriously over there, so you're going to have to show your ID and all that good stuff. And then somebody will tell you where to go, but maybe get there a little early because we'll have our hour-long meeting, and it'll be mostly social. Mostly social. All right, so it is 12:28. I think we are all set. I really appreciate you guys coming out and giving us a try. And I would love your feedback to see if you enjoyed this or if this was helpful to you or annoying to you or what. But we can certainly do it again if people want to. For those of you who couldn't make it, the recording hopefully will be available. So that is all the news that's fit to print. You guys are free to go. Thank you so much for joining.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Carolyn.
Thanks, bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Have a great afternoon.
Bye. Thanks, RJ.